single fruit worth watching. My name is Scrape, and today we're doing something a little different. If you couldn't tell, this isn't my usual setup. I'm not on a computer. I'm not talking over pre-recorded video, and this is a plate. If you couldn't tell, I don't really know what I'm doing. As per usual, I have a semi-preconceived notion of what I'm going to be talking about and what I'm going to be doing. Laid out before me, I have some tasteful setup with my horrible paint palette, and today we're going to be making molds of these little beans. This one's hard to see because it's black. I made these little Seabunnies the other day, and today I'm going to be casting them, so at some point when I have the funds, I can make resin versions of them, or more clay versions. Either way, I can just use the mold, stick it in, and be, whoop, there we go. So I'm actually going to set a few of them up, so it's like, so it's, the babies on the head. I'm going to make a few of those, a few singular babies, and go from there. Where's my glue? There's my glue. The mold I'm using is this mold builder I got from Michael's, of all places. Very overpriced, especially in Canada. Hi, I'm Canadian. I say sorry way too much. But today this is not a sorry video. This is a video about my school, which I'm not going to be naming. Just know it was named after someone. Well, I'm just going to be talking about school in general. The school I'm currently going to is named after someone famous from Canada. The school I previously went to is named after someone famous from Canada. And then the first school I went to, which I don't remember much about, because it was, you know, school, young school, was named after the place I live. So we're just going to be calling them School 1, School 2, and School 3. I guess preschool, if I'm talking about preschool. Yes, I'm going to talk about preschool. God, I have some very strange moments from preschool. So I'm going to be very on and off in this video because I'm not used to both doing stuff and talking at the same time, so it's a new experience for me. The reason I'm doing it this way rather than my usual voiceover way is because I'm recording on my phone and I don't have access to a computer at the moment. Can you hear me? Why am I asking the camera? You can't respond. I don't have access to a computer right now, so I can't actually record all this, speed it up, and then go from there. I have to record and talk at the same time. Someone is blasting music. Not Animal Crossing music, like I can feel it in my skull. It's like heavy bass music. My god. It's freaking 10:36. Quiet down, people. We're in quarantine, not party town. This is not a pre-recorded video, this is a video from quarantine. Hi, I've been diagnosed with coronavirus. You won't catch it from watching my videos, so don't fret there. But, this is what you get for working where I work. Which I don't anymore, because I was laid off. Fun times. If you want to commission me. If you want to commission me, my Instagram is Scrapnoodle. I can make these things. Shameless self-promotion. But today, we are going to be talking about school. I'm going to take the ones with my least favorite ears and do the double. So, school's fun. So this is basically just going to be me talking about my school experience and my friend experience. I need to have my hands shown in the video because, fair warning, I move my hands a lot, so if you don't like that, then I guess you can just listen. I don't know. But, well, builder, glue. I'm gonna glue the babies together. I'm gonna leave those two babies, because I like those two babies just as babies. And then I'm gonna glue these two together. So, my school experience, for the most part, has been not the best, to say the least. I have, being me, I've always been very open about myself and very, I've always been the loud, flamboyant one. At least up until a point, and then it kind of changed. It regressed back into that. I went from loud, flamboyant to quiet kid that sits in the corner and cries, back to loud and flamboyant, as well as the kid in the corner that sits and cries. But, I've kind of been both throughout the years. Oh god, that's too much water. Don't mind me, I don't know what I'm doing. But, let's start the tale back in my preschool. One of the people, now if you don't know, I'm trans. Hi. He, him, or they, them. Trans, non-binary, trans, mask, all that fun stuff. But I was born as a girl, so I had to be with the girls in my preschool. It was ran out of a church, so that's just going to give you some insight to that. I'm actually going to put this on there. But, it was ran from a church, which I think I like the best. I don't remember if it still ran church anymore or not, but I remember it was run out of a church. And there was a morning class and an afternoon class. Actually, there's 2 morning classes and 2 afternoon classes. I don't remember which one I was in, but I always remember that it was like this big room which was divided down the middle by one of those sliding door things, like, you know in gyms where they have the, like, not paper, but canvas dividers that they would put up on these frames and slide them in and out of the walls. From what I can remember, it was that. No, was it? I don't know if it had an actual wall or a fold-out wall, but it was one of those things. And this is basically just liquid latex. It is literally liquid latex. Ooh. That. Ooh. Smells like fish. I'm a dork. Hi, welcome to my channel. But, it wasn't divided up where it was like girls are on one side of the room and boys are on the other. It was more like, okay, girls and boys are together for the beginning. As far as I can remember, girls and boys are together for the beginning, like orientation and stuff, and then we kind of went off and did our own thing, but like, girls had to play with girl toys and boys had to play with boy toys. And then, is there any way I can stick this down so it's not moving? Give me a moment. I need to redo my art wall. I might make a video about that once I get my art wall back up. I might make a video, like, room tour kind of deal. If you're interested in that, feel free to say so. I'm just using some sticky tack to, or blue tack, or whatever it's called, to stick this boyo. This probably was is my reach. But, I think I was in the morning class. I can't quite remember though. Oh, dang it, my sticky hand fell. I'm just gonna put that there. I might need more. If you couldn't tell, I'm disorganized as all frick. But, so that's just a bit of insight as to how my school worked. I can go more into that stuff in a different video. I might also be doing tonight, depending if I'm tired or not. I was planning on doing an Animal Crossing video back when the Switch to charge, so it's doing that right now. That's gonna be a little more of a quieter, calmer video, like an island tour basically, which I'm hoping to be able to do soon enough. I'll let that dry. I guess I could do other bitty bobs. Okay. But I remember, and like it was a nice school, don't get me wrong. It was very pretty and very like good. As good as you can get in a preschool. But I like this one. Separate them from, and then I can attach them together again. Sorry, I'm talking to myself about the well, I guess I can actually tell you guys what I'm doing. Jumping around a bit, but I'm going to be covering these in latex. And then I'm going to be attaching all those latex molds to each other and strengthening them a bit more. But for now, I'm just doing these singulars. Anyway. So, it was a decent school. I don't actually remember much from that other than what my parents have told me. Because, again, I was a young child. I don't remember much from my childhood, aside from a few things. But from what parents have told me, it was a fun experience. Because I had this one friend. I don't even remember her name. But she wasn't even really my friend, but I'll get into that a little later. But, she was the type to come up to me, show me something. I'll just say, like, this is my new Barbie. Like, she had a new Barbie, as an example. I don't know if she ever actually did have a new Barbie or not, but she'll come up to me with her new Barbie, with this huge grin on her face, and be like, this is my new Barbie. My friends get to play with my Barbie, you can't play with my Barbie. And that would happen so many times. I remember one time, it was like, I don't remember it, I'm just saying I remember because it's easier then. My mom told me about this one time. But it was like, she came up to me and was like, oh look, I have this friendship bracelet. I gave all my friends friendship bracelets. And then she pauses with this smirk on her face. I didn't give you one because you're not my friend. You can't have a friendship bracelet. No, you can't touch my friendship bracelet. Only my friends can touch my friendship bracelet. My mom doesn't swear very often, but my mom described her as a bitch. Which, coming out of my mouth, isn't that surprising because I swear a lot. But coming from her mouth, it was like, oh my god. Gotta keep my hands in frame. But just checking to see if I'm still recording, because sometimes my phone will like to be a bitch. But that would happen a lot of times, and I don't even remember why, but one time she invited me to her birthday. I don't remember what happened at the birthday. I just remember my mom was really hesitant to send me because this was the person that had made me cry 9 times out of 10 coming home from school. So that's basically a setup for my school life. If that's the only thing you take away from this video, is that shit school life. Even in preschool. And then I can talk about some of the fun stuff too. But trying to think of where to go to next. Let's go grade 1. In grade 1 I had this amazing teacher. I'm okay with saying her name because she's amazing. But her name was Miss Benner. And the funniest thing would happen every year. She would be, well, as in that school 1, she would be in the same hallway as me every single year. It was so funny. And like, it wasn't the same hallway. I wasn't in the same hallway every year. I would be in different hallways, but she would somehow be like in the room across from me or the room down the hall or anything like that. And she was really nice. She was one of the people that first got me into writing, she was just one of the sweetest people I had ever met. But I need to see how she's doing. I haven't talked to her in a while. Well, given none of my family's in that school anymore, so it wouldn't be too hard to check up on her though. Drop by sometime. But she was really nice. One of my favorite teachers. And then in grade 2 I had Miss Fleming. Same story. Not the whole hallway thing, but she was really nice. She encouraged my love of art and of writing and stuff like that. Oh, and I think this was Miss Fleming, but I was a chatterbox in school, if you couldn't already tell. Less so now, unless there's a friend in my class, and oh boy, I go off the rails. But, I remember I had this kid named Yen in my class, and I'm okay with Blue Link if you're watching this. But I remember we were talking. This is one of my most vivid memories from grade 2, is we were talking. Well, Miss Fleming was trying to talk. Yes, I was one of those kids. I'm better now. But we were talking, and dead name alert, but Miss Fleming, we were all sitting on the ground, because that's what we did. This was when the carpets weren't outlawed in schools. Yes, carpets are outlawed in schools. I think it was a hygiene thing. But I gotta wait for this to dry now. We were sitting on the floor in a little conglomerate thing, and I was talking to my friend Yen, and we were just chatting. I don't even remember about what, but we were just yammering on, and Miss Fleming turns around, or not turns around, but looks me dead in the eye, and is like, "This isn't the Emily Gillen show." I don't know why that cracks me up every time, but it's she was sweet about it, which is what makes it even better, because it's I knew she didn't mean it in a mean way. She was just trying to get my attention. She's like, "Emily, this isn't the Emily Gillen show. Come on. It's my turn to talk." It's okay. I was a bit of a hyperactive child, and she understood that, which is why she wasn't mad at me. And she was really nice. But Okay. Now it's a funny story, because, grade... Oh, there was also a weird thing that school would do, is where every year we would have an assembly for the students that, like, that would congratulate the students that never missed a day of school, or never got sick. And it's like... Bitch. I understand you're trying to promote, like, good attendance and whatnot, but I think that one of the years I only missed, like, 2 days of school because I was sick. Or, no, I don't remember. No, that wasn't right. I only missed 2 days of school. Maybe in preschool. But I was a kid that was sick often, but back then I was one of the best graded students in my class. But no one ever acknowledged that, which I think was why I was so pissy that these kids that never missed a day of school were getting praised to the gods for just showing up. And I was working my ass off. Like, I put in so much hard work as a child because I wanted to make my teachers happy. And yes, call me a teacher's pet or whatever. But I wanted to make my teachers happy, and to do that, I knew I had to put in good work. That started dwindling off around grade 3, I think. No, grade 4, because I had... That's a whole other story, because... yeah, but they kept having these assemblies every year about the, good attendance records and everything. Mind my grubby fingers. I have a habit of picking at them. I need to stop. But I remember... I was a bit of a jealous kid to begin with. I had always had issues with that. I still kind of do. I'm working on it, though. The first step to recovery is to admit your problems, right? But I remember... I've said that line over and over again. Okay. I'm an adult from Charlie Brown now, apparently. But, so, that story's gonna go nowhere, so I'm just gonna ditch it now. There were assemblies that promoted good attendance. The kids that attended, one of them said that they never got sick, which was bullshit, because I saw them sneezing one day, and I think they got me sick. And, like, it's a frickin' grade 1, grade 2, grade 3, grade 4 school. We're all germy kids, you're gonna get sick. But then, grade 3. Now, grade 3 was one of the best and worst years of my life. Well, no. Grade 3 was the start of my decline. I know, I started young. Great job. But it was also the start of something amazing. Grade 3 was... Oh, I didn't even touch on. Okay. In grade 1, I made a friend named McKenna. McKenna F. I have to specify that because I meet another friend down there who's also named McKenna, but I think she was McKenna C. But McKenna F, we would always play... We'd play Harry Potter together, and I started role-playing young. Like, not that kind of role-playing, but, like, running around as children do, pretending to be characters. I was always Voldemort, and I would or Voldemort's daughter. I was either Voldemort or Voldemort's daughter. That was something I did. But I remember we would always be running around and playing together, and McKenna also had a friend named Rebecca. Now, at the time, I didn't like Rebecca very much, or I tried to like Rebecca, but I don't think Rebecca liked me. correct me if I'm wrong, Becca, if you're watching this, but it was always like a fight to see who could hang out with McKenna more, I think. And, well, me being the naive little child at the time, I didn't really see much of it. But at that time, I don't think Rebecca liked me very much. We're on better terms now. She's amazing. She's one of my best friends, and I wish we talked more. I gotta put in more time to that. But, in grade 3, Rebecca was in my class. And she is amazing. Sorry, just reminiscing. But, and like, it's one of the strangest things. Our friendship started over not an accidental game of draw something, but a game of draw something that my parents set up. Like, my mom and her mom set up this game of draw something on their accounts for us. Because I liked the game, and I didn't know anybody, and my mom was like, hey, I know Rebecca's mom, she's in your class, do you want to try this? And I was like, okay, sure. And me being me, I was, like, shy. I was shy, but also very vocal. I was very vocal if I knew the person, shy if I didn't. Which I guess can be said about a lot of people. But, so I start talking to her about this draw something game in class, because we got paired up together to sit together at one point, and it just not spiraled, but spiraled from there. We became really good friends. We did almost everything together, and that was, I think, yeah, that was, I don't remember if McKenna moved away in grade 2 or the beginning of grade 3, but McKenna was out of the picture. We had no way of getting in touch with her. I sent her cards for the longest time, but that kind of dwindled off because either I didn't respond or she didn't respond one time, and it just kind of stopped from there. But, in that class, I met Becca. And to this day, she is one of my best friends. I wish we were closer, but we just kind of drifted apart, which sucks ass, because she was sweet as fuck. But I still have amazing friends, and I still have Melissa, who I'll touch on. I think we met in grade 4. We started getting close in grade 5, but we met in grade 4, I think. And Tressa, who I met actually very recently. It was our 1 friend year anniversary this Halloween. It was amazing. I mean, we didn't actually get to hang out on Halloween, but we did our own little thing on a few days after, I think. I don't remember when it was exactly, but we hung out to celebrate our friend anniversary a little after that. And, but yeah. So that was basically the highlight of that year, was meeting Becca. But then, oh boy. I think as a child I was a bit of a compulsive liar, or I just twisted things way too much in my own little child brain. It's one or the other. But, it was... I had a teacher who, she was really nice, but it was one of the teachers that had a different way of teaching. This is also the year I didn't know how to do division. It was the year we taught division, and I didn't understand it in the slightest. I would look at the board, and the words would get all jumbled and messed up, and I'd just be sitting there when everyone else was reciting their times tables. I would just be staring at the board with this dead expression on my face, like, what does this mean? What is this satanic language you're speaking? I've never been good at math. I'm covering Seabunnies in latex. I've never been good at math. But, sorry, got lost in the Animal Crossing music. But, so I think this is probably going to be a 2 to 3 parter, one for every school. Because, my throat's starting to get dry, and I think my thing is all charged up, so I'll probably come back to this later. But, once I finish, of course. But my teacher that year, Miss Toy, is what we're gonna call her. She was a really nice woman. I just couldn't see it at the time. Because she was different from my previous 2 teachers. Like, my previous 2 teachers, Miss Benner had been a little more strict than Miss Fleming, I think. Oh, back to Miss Fleming. That was the year I first went to Hawaii, which was, like, we were there for 2 days, I think. It was a short trip. It was fun. Did I have a sister at that time? I don't remember. I think I did. Yeah, my sister ended up getting sick, like she always does. I don't know why every time we go on holidays, my sister gets sick. It's weird. Except she's the only one that isn't infested with the coronavirus. Oops, I said it. The bad virus. The bye-bye virus. Not the bye-bye virus. What is wrong with me? But, yeah. But while we were driving one time, actually, I want to see if I can find my old, like, not diary. It was basically a diary. I had a log thing I would do maybe it was more than 2 days. But I would do this log thing every day for however long we were there. And, like, I included photos and stuff. And I definitely want to see if I can find that, because that'll be fun to show you guys. Or, you guy. Single Fruit Loop. Frosted Flake? What did I call you? Cheerio, I think. No. I don't know. Single cereal bit. But we found this street called Fleming Street, which was funny because my teacher at the time was Miss Fleming. Okay, that was a wild ride for little to no payoff. But grade 3, Miss Toy. Grade 3 was the year I started getting into stop motion, and I still really like stop motion. I just haven't had the time to try to get back into it. But it was the year I started stop motion, and I remember I made these little, this was a little bit off topic, but if you can still search it up. I'll see if I can actually link it in the description, some of my old stop motion videos, but there was Imp and Friends Adventures, which is one series I worked on, as well as Animal Parade, which was just a one-off little thing, and then there was Blueberry and Puddles, which I still have them. Actually, I can show them to you guys. The perk of having live camera. But it was Blueberry and Puddles. Or my little, I would do stop motions videos with them. And there was one I started working on with little pet shops and like getting eaten by the big monster, and I worked on it with my cousin, but I couldn't get the audio to sync up and I got way too angry at it, so I just stopped working on it. It's forever lost to the recesses of the computer. But I remember I was working on those, and I asked Miss Toy if I could show them, like, in class. And I guess because it was, like, school was starting to get more serious, so there was a lot stricter in what we were doing. But I remember she said, not today. Or she said something along the lines of, not today, maybe another time, I'll keep it in mind. And little child me took that as, no, not ever, I hate your work. I was insecure. I still am insecure. But I remember I was pissed. Like, I was pissed, I was angry, I was crying. I think that was at the end of the day. Like, it took me a lot to work up to actually asking her if I could, like, show them in class. And then the rejection just made me feel so icky. Which it wasn't even rejection, it was a postpone kind of thing. It was like... And so I went home and I told my mom that Miss Toy had said she hated my stop motion videos and didn't want to show them, and that she hated me. And this is why my parents don't trust me. But I remember, I don't know if it was my mom or my dad, but one of them wrote an email to Miss Toy talking about how this was unacceptable behavior or whatever. And she writes back with, I didn't tell M that I hated them. She would have used her pronouns, because again, I was female. But for the sake of me not feeling like gross in my own body, I'm going to use they, them, or he, him pronouns when referring to my past self. Fight me. That's one thing that I dislike that my parents do sometimes, is when they're talking about my quote-unquote old self, they'll use she, her pronouns, and it's like, it's still me. I still wasn't female back then. Like, my god. Love them, but please watch yourself. I don't want to feel like I'm dying. But, and it's not that big of a deal, because I know they're doing it on accident, but why the fuck do I have a puncture mark on my leg? Gotta love getting completely sidetracked. I know, my leg's itchy. Okay. But, so, there's back and forth in the emails and everything, and my parents come and sit me down and they explain to me that Miss Toy doesn't hate me and that she just meant that it would have to wait. That was also the year I made broccoli locks. Okay, one of these days I'll have to go through my old art and see if I can find broccoli locks, but we were supposed to do retellings of fairy tales, like, to put a little spin on it. And my genius child brain did broccoli locks and the 3 carrots. You heard that right. Also, this is completely off topic, but one time when I was at my mom's work, she works at a diner, same place I work, all-American diner in Canada. I know, it's fun. But, I was with, I think, my Nana, and they were asking me what side I wanted with my food. So I look at the menu and I see broccoli, and I'm like, I love broccoli, just screaming it at the top of my lungs. I love broccoli. I still do like broccoli. It's one of my favorite vegetables. I just am not over the moon excited when I can have broccoli, because I'm a moody teenager. But so that goes to show you my mind frame at that time. I remember I toiled and, like, worked on this so hard, and I got a pretty good grade. But it was fun. I made broccoli locks and 3 carrots. I don't remember much about the story other than it was frickin' Goldilocks and 3 bears. But I remember the ending of it with Broccoli Locks runs away from the house, but then Baby Carrot goes to, like, talk to her and to comfort her, and then invites her back and they live together, like, as a family. Baby Carrot has a sister. Hello! Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Sorry, I'm recording. record. I asked her when she was in the bathroom. Oh, love you. Sorry. Okay, I'll keep that. Oopsie, I got in trouble. Gotta keep it down. But, so, yeah. Sorry, getting back on track. Lost my train of thought. Isn't it fun watching bunnies dry? So, we're almost at the end of school one. But, so, one weird thing was, when school was first made, it went up to grade 4. When I was in grade 2, it changed from grade 4 to 4 grades to 3 grades. So we had to go watch the grade 4 graduation. It was this big, extravagant thing. There was so much to do and see. As far as I can remember, it was great. There was like a red carpet. It was amazing. Grade 3 graduation comes around. Folding chairs, no fancy lights. Everyone looks dead inside. I don't even remember if we got our own, I don't remember if we got our own graduation ceremony, or if it was just thrown in at the end of a, end of year assembly. Which, we got the short end of the stick, basically. And that was basically school 1 for me. Turmoil. Turmoil. It wasn't all that. There's definitely some highlights. Again, I was really young, so I don't remember much about that. Ooh, I do remember the math PATs. I passed, but barely. I remember this toy had to give me more time, and I think I only finished half of the PAT within the allocated time, which was half a day or half a period. It was a long time. We had a long time, but I only finished half. And then from there, and again, division we learned that year, not my strong suit in the slightest. 1 out of 10, don't recommend. I'm better at it now, but learning the basics. I'm not good at math. But yeah, that was school 1. Now I'm going to launch into the typical YouTuber spiel, so if you don't like that, feel free to exit now. Thank you for watching till the end. If you like this video, consider hitting that weird thumbs up button at the bottom, or down below the video, wherever it is, or you can hit the thumbs down button. I have a lot of people doing that, especially on my videos about Skylanders. Skylanders is good, like me. Feel free to leave a comment, say what types of videos you want me to touch on in the future, give me ideas. It's always great to be able to take other people's ideas for your own. That's a joke. Don't do that unless you get permission. If you want to see more videos of bunnies drying, why don't you hit subscribe? Yee, we're out to 17. It's fun. I never thought I'd actually reach above 10. I feel accomplished. If you like what you see, this isn't art, really. Well, it is art, but it's not my usual scribble doodle drawings. Feel free to check out my Instagram. It is scriptdoodle or tricky knuckle. Though, be fair, be warned, I do draw some NSFW slash not safe. NSFW slash not safe for work. Wow. I'm eloquent. I do draw some not safe for work NSFW slash like suggestive materials, so if that's not your thing, you can skip over that. If you just like my art, I do put blockers and make sure that it's not like right in your face, because I'm kind. But yeah, that's basically all I have to say. My buns are drying. I'll probably come back to these on a later date. Maybe do a video on resin. I don't know. I'm not good at resin. This is about all I can do. These are made out of polymer clay, and if you like these, I'm selling some of them, I guess. Feel free to ask about that. Money's tight. I need to make money. I lost my job. Don't pity me. I'm fine. But thank you, Single Fruitlet, for watching. This has been Scrape, signing off. Burr, 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 burr.